In January 1941, a man under 24-hour British surveillance quietly vanished from a locked house in Calcutta. And within months, he was negotiating World War alliances from Berlin. The British Empire never recovered from the humiliation. In the winter of 1941, the British Raj believed it had successfully silenced one of India's most dangerous political leaders, Subhash Chandra Bose. Unlike Gandhi, Bose did not believe freedom would come through petitions or patience. He believed the British Empire had to be broken, not persuaded. So the British placed him under strict house arrest at his family home, 38-2 Elgin Road, Calcutta, surrounded by intelligence officers, plain-clothed police, and round-the-clock surveillance. To the British, Bose was contained. To Bose, house arrest was only step one of escape. By 1941, Bose had already served multiple prison terms. He had been twice elected president of the Indian National Congress, defeating even Gandhi's chosen candidate in 1939. He openly rejected compromise with British rule. He wanted independence now, not eventually. The Viceroy, Lord Linlithgow, called him the most dangerous Indian alive. Britain believed isolation would break him. They did not realize they had locked him inside the planning room of his own escape. Bose and his closest confidant, Subhash Chandra Bose, began coordinating secretly. British intelligence had tapped telephones, monitored visitors, and shadowed servants. But they never imagined the plan relied on absolute silence. No paper trails, no letters, no written instructions. Every detail was memorized. A secret support network formed, including Sisir Kumar Bose, his nephew Abid Hassan, and loyal associates of the Forward Bloc. The goal was not simply escape. It was international mobilization against the empire. Bose wanted to leave India, sail through Afghanistan, into the Soviet Union, and finally reach Germany, to form a military alliance to attack the British in India. If successful, he would convert World War II into a weapon for India's liberation. The date was set, January 16th, 1941. At nightfall, with police outside the gates and watchers across the street, Bose changed his appearance completely. He shaved his trademark mustache. He wore a long woolen coat. He wrapped his head in a brown Pashtun-style scarf. Thick spectacles concealed his eyes. He adopted a new identity, Mohammed Ziuddin, a deaf and mute Pathan insurance agent. Pretending to be unable to speak made interrogation difficult and protected his Bengali accent if questioned. At 1:30 a.m., Sisir Bose quietly drove a German-made Wanderer car out of the Elgin Road compound. The guards believed the lights inside still indicated Bose was asleep. In reality, the house was empty. The most watched man in India had walked out from under British noses, inside a car driven by a 21-year-old student. The journey had to avoid major police checkpoints. They drove first to Burdwan, then Dhanbad, then to a small railway junction named Gomo. On January 19, 1941, he boarded the Calcutta mail disguised as a Muslim traveler. British intelligence still had no idea he was gone. From Gomo, he traveled north, through Delhi, toward Peshawar, then to the tribal belt near the Afghan frontier. Local anti-British networks helped him cross. Every mile was dangerous. If captured, Britain would have tried him for treason. Finally, he slipped into Afghanistan. From there, he was assisted by Indian revolutionaries operating abroad. He reached Kabul, living undercover for weeks while his false papers were prepared. He then traveled through Samarkand, moved into Soviet Central Asia, and crossed into Moscow. From Moscow, he secured passage to Berlin. When he arrived in Germany in April 1941, the British Empire was stunned. They were not even aware he had left Calcutta. When the news finally reached British officials, it became a diplomatic embarrassment. They had not lost a criminal. They had lost a nationalist leader of international standing under their direct surveillance from a locked house without a single shot fired. intelligence files from the India office recorded the reaction, an escape of the gravest consequence. In Berlin, Bose met Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop and secured German backing for an army of Indian prisoners of war, later known as the Indian Legion, or Azad Hind Legion. For the first time in modern history, an Indian independence leader was conducting foreign diplomacy as a head of a future state, not as a subject of the empire. Britain suddenly faced a nightmare, an Indian revolutionary forming an army abroad with Axis military support aimed at expelling them from India by force. This was not just escape, this was strategic revenge. The British believed house arrest would silence Subhash Chandra Bose. Instead, it turned him into an international resistance figure. They caged him in Calcutta, and he reappeared in Berlin. It remains one of the most humiliating intelligence failures in the history of the British Empire, a prison escape that changed the course of the Indian freedom struggle.